Hello. Hello, hello. Video on demand, people. Are you here? Because there's no way there's people just waiting for me to go live. So, hello, a video on demand, people. Hello, other exiles. It's been a bit of time. It has literally been over a month since the last time that I hit go live. So, a little bit of catching up. Work crazy, family crazy, me tired. So, I've watched a lot of TV shows with my wife, read some books, played some games, spent a load of time with my family, and tried to sleep as much as possible during this little lull after I went way too hard just playing Path of Exile 2. I didn't even make that many videos, do that many podcasts, do that many lives, but I played a crap ton of the game. And then I went on a cruise. And when I got back from that cruise, cruises are supposed to reinvigorate you. But I got back and I did not feel reinvigorated. In fact, it hit me even harder, just the wave of fatigue. And so I haven't clicked go live. So sorry to all you live viewers. I know I'm very thankful. Seriously, I didn't know how many of you enjoyed the live streams until I really received all the messages on Discord, on Twitter, on Reddit. I was surprised to see somebody messaging me on my Reddit account. But seriously, thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you guys for watching. I know it has been a really, really long time, and I hope you are all doing well. So I'm getting back in the swing of things because what in the world? There's still plenty to do, especially for a player like me, maybe a player like you in the game with other games, which that will be very exciting today. So that's exactly what we're going to do here and now. Yes, we are on the 2-month mark of this Path of Exile 2 patch. Yes, I may have accidentally migrated my monk to Trade League, and we can talk about that later, but I do not think that the migration from SSF to the normal league is clear at all, but that's besides the point. And I have some reacts to do. I also want to talk about why I'm not playing Path of Exile 1, and maybe some of you guys might share that sentiment, including the fact that I did give in. I was alone last weekend during launch weekend. It was the prime time, everyone. Literally, no family here. I'm by myself on launch day. I didn't log on launch day. I got on the day after. And I still dropped it. I want to talk about why. And a couple other things. So, hello, people in the live chat. Hey, Cat Chat 240p. What's happening, man? Hey, Tausui. Hey, Rocky 581. Finally, we're back. Miso is about to take your spot as my favorite streamer. Well, Rocky 581. I cannot stream almost every day like Miso, but I am streaming every Wednesday, barring any disasters. I will be live at least once per week. It's just so hectic, guys. My wife is pregnant. She's due in October. My 2 girls, my 4-year-old, she's starting to do so much more. She likes to play games. She likes to read tons of books. She likes going outside late at night. And my 1-year-old is basically acting like my 4-year-old when she was 3. So my 1-year-old is developing way faster than my first daughter. So they are tiring me out. I am just brain dead by the end of the day, mentally, physically. I wasn't running for a bit there, So I'm getting everything back into swing. Okay, we're getting back on multiple horses. We're forming an entire carriage. All right, we were off the carriage. We're getting back on the carriage in more ways than one. Hey, Abstract Gaming, I know, back from the living. I know. I've actually been playing a lot of Path of Exile 2. We can get into this more later. But I've been playing early game Path of Exile 2. I'll show you exactly what I've been doing a little bit later in the stream. It's been very, very fun. Hey, Epic Creasy, what's happening, man? Hey, Gage Podri Bow 1720. Hell yeah, man. First time you've ever caught me live. You've been watching me since your Asmon interview. Bro, you've been watching me for 2 years? That's crazy. Well, welcome in. Yeah, that was an incredible night. Just the story of how that came together. I mean, he literally messaged me. I was about to go to bed. And he's like, yo, you wanna do the podcast? Sorry, I haven't messaged you back. He's still on. Literally was about to turn my computer off and go to bed for launch day. And he messaged me. That was crazy, crazy, crazy. Hey, Bajabir. Hey, March Fly. You played one character to 80 back to Pee-wee 2. Yeah, I'll talk about Pee-wee 1 in a moment. Egghead, you tried Pee-wee 1, couldn't get used to the gameplay. Yeah, so a big part of it is WASD, but it's not even just the clunkiness. Hey, Sass Entertainment. Perfect time. You just got off work and sat down with a cold one and some Pee-wee 2. How you doing, Try? Yeah, I'm doing well now. I'm doing well. I've needed to get back in the swing of everything. Life almost kicked up a notch for me, and I needed to find a way to replace this puzzle piece that is streaming and making videos in a way that worked. And it was really encouraging to see how many people really, really enjoyed my content in random places on the internet. The Talkative Try community is real. I've also been watching or listening to some Matthew Colville videos. I don't know if anybody here knows who Matt Colville is, but he is a YouTuber. He made a lot of D&D, TTRPG videos. He's making his own TTRPG now called Draw Steel, and I've been listening to several of his videos on community, and he just celebrated 10 years of YouTube, and it was the lessons he learned. He was trying to be a river to his people, and listening to what he learned over that time really inspired within me what we can still do here as we're on year 3. Only year 3. That's crazy. It's been 3 years. Wow. Hey, Andy Sadler. Greetings from Manchester, UK. What's happening, man? You've been loving the avatar style of martial artist monk. So much fun. Yeah. Okay. Martial artist was incredible for me until I started using the meta bit hollow form, and then it got a lot less fun. And then I accidentally migrated to Trade League, and then I stopped playing endgame altogether. A caravan, you could say. Yes. Gage Podry Bow, I feel you there, man. My 18-month-old is a ball of fire, man. Dude, yeah, I have, you know. So you already know. You already know. We 23-month-old, so she's turning 2 next month, and a 4-year-old. And then we have a 6-month-old in the tummy right now. And she's going to be induced 2 weeks before ExileCon. We confirmed with the gynecologist, or is that called it? Yeah, gynecologist, whatever. The doctor who's going to deliver the baby that we can induce 2 weeks before ExileCon, which is awesome. No problem. You thought I just lost my passion, but good to hear that you've been doing well and being busy IRL. Oh, yeah. Rocky, I more so lost my energy. My passion, I will say, for Path of Exile 1, I think may be dead. But not for other stuff. Yeah, Vastiri Caravan, maybe. Very good abstract game. Hey, Gator Mouth, what's happening, dude? I feel like you live in the 80s while we are stuck in 2040. I do have a very different life from many of my friends and coworkers with all my kids and everything else I'm doing. You're right. Hey, Crickhammer, thanks for asking. She's doing really well. She's had no more morning sickness in this she's entering the final trimester now. And the baby's very healthy. The baby is more active than our other 2 were by far. Even though they just did a huge endgame update, I recently realized my favorite part is campaign. I lose steam for my builds after hitting T15 maps to level 80+. I lost it. Yeah, when I was destroying everything, I kind of lost the fire, the passion for Path of Exile 2's endgame. I think that my sweet spot is that initial progression through all the quest lines, and then once your character becomes completely busted, I lose a lot of that fire, especially since I also completed the challenges around the same time. I usually push in Path of Exile 1 to get the challenges, and then I'm complete, but with Path of Exile 2, it happens just a little bit quicker, which is totally fine, because I think the early game is still so much fun, and I've been doing challenges with myself. I just posted the first recorded version of it, where I do try to do Act 1 in under an hour using only a weapon, no other gear slots, which if you think that's easy, try it. Seriously, give it a go. It is ridiculously fun. It is Path of Exile 2 on hard mode. It's 0.1 on steroids. I've done 6 runs of that in the past 3 days. Yeah, 6 runs in the past 3 days. So I've been actually playing a lot of Path of Exile 2. It's just a very weird segment of Path of Exile 2. It's not even speed running. It's dumb challenges, but you know, it's been fun to me. Passion for Dead for Path of Exile 1 is fair. Yeah, I'll talk about it in a moment. Yeah, new PoE League is a bit underwhelming, but still a bit fun. Yeah, I've been seeing a lot of people having fun with it. Yeah, I'm gonna get into that in just a moment. Totally feel that try. It's hard to balance work, live streaming, and gaming together. It's been a challenge for me as well. It's just hard to burn yourself not out. Yeah, dude, Sass. Yeah, you get me. Did you destroy Juiced Expedition also, or the content wasn't enjoyable? Yeah, War Mode Intro Archive. So I'm not... Yeah, when I talk about I don't like... This is going to sound so weird, but this is how I feel. I don't like juicing the content into the nth degree. So what are people doing? 4 tablet city maps, 200% delirium. You can't see anything on the screen, right? Where it is very challenging. I will give you that. The Grand Expeditions, those maps are incredibly challenging. But yeah, I don't necessarily see that as fun. At that point, I feel like it's just your wealth or your character building ingenuity that gets you further there. And it just, I really like that initial progression path where you do have to engage for the most part with a lot of monsters, including the bosses. They're 30-second to a minute-and-a-half long boss fights. But even then, my build clicked and I was starting to kill pinnacles in several seconds. And that's where I lose the fun. And I know that. So I think, honestly, what I might do is just start to do another character after I'm done with these challenge runs. Wow, Sirius, thanks for 22 months in a row, brother. I've been well. Just very busy, very tired, which is why I had to stop streaming for a little bit. But I appreciate the support, dude. 22 months is crazy. That's almost 2 years. Hey, Chuckles Doctor, thanks for the 17 months as well. Really appreciate that, man. Thanks for the prime. Hey, Frosty, what's happening, dude? How is your daughter doing, Frosty? And have you been liking Path of Exile 1? Path of Exile 1. I know you don't play that game. Path of Exile 2. I know you were playing that a decent amount. I found that it was important for me to set my own specific goals to an endgame SSF in order to stay motivated. Yeah. They need Ubers in a separate game mode apart from maps like Dell. Yeah, the boss is being so weak, guys. I know that I am in the minority, the top 5%, maybe the top 1%, but I still feel like the bosses in Endgame are too weak. And I don't want to hinder myself to need to beat the farming pinnacles, you know? I just can't wait for Ubers to come in the game. And I really am excited for Act 5 and 6. I hope my first run through those bosses is difficult. I hope I don't blast through them as I did in Act 4. Making new characters might be the play for now. That's what I've been doing with this challenge. It's been very fun. Yeah, SSF was a lot of fun this league. Okay, so I started doing these challenges, guys, where I'm doing one character in SSF. And I accidentally clicked migrate all instead of one of these, instead of migrate the single character. And I migrated my monk into trade. Which destroyed me. It was so saddening. So now my monk, which is the character I beat all the pinnacles on in SSF, like I did that whole journey first time. It was very fun. Now he's in Trade League. So I've been waiting to push another character for patch 055 because I thought that it might come out relatively soon and it sounded like it was going to be meaty. But now I'm wondering, are they going to wait until all the races in August are done? Because the races for ExileCon qualifiers occur the 1st, 2nd, 3rd, and 4th week of August. So every week of August. So maybe 055, which is going to be a meaty balance patch with some content additions, might be end of August or early September. So, yeah, massive F. Hey, Plutomancy, I'm not dead. Daughter is doing well, over a year already. I really love PoE too. Awesome, Frosty. Awesome. My gosh, a year. Congrats. You made it through the first year. Year one, especially with Trial 1, is very hard, dude. Excellent work. Excellent work. I also saw you were playing Grim Dawn, I think. You're making some videos on that. That's a game that I've played for only 5 minutes in the past. But a lot of people sing its praises. Hey, Ped. I'm doing well, dude. How you doing? Jorgen's Face Breakers. I didn't find a Face Breakers the entire time playing an SSF. Will there be a new character before 1.0? I was debating this with my brother if they're going to drop one. I don't think so. I think they're going to show off Duelist and Swords at Gamescom, which is the end of August. But I think that 055 is just going to have the final ascensions for Druid and, oh, what's the other one? Druid and Ranger? So Arcane Archer and whatever the Druid Ascendancy is. Full playthrough right now before No Rest for the Wicked 1.0 prep. Yeah, dude. No Rest for the Wicked 1.0 is going to be so much fun. I ended up really enjoying that game after pushing myself past the first boss. Like, once I figured out how to actually maneuver my character, I swapped to mouse and keyboard in No Rest for the Wicked. The game became a lot more fun than on controller for me. It just seemed more responsive. That's a good game. I can't wait for 1.0 as well for that. I'm definitely going to play that. No, Oxen, they basically confirmed that there's going to be new stuff in 055. In addition to bug fixes, balance changes, that there would be new uniques, and they wanted to get the rest of the Ascendancies out before 1.0. Yeah, I talked about it in the podcast with my brother a couple days ago, but all the Ascendancies, I swear, they just need to be brought up to the coolness level of the Spirit Walker and the Martial Artist. They're just such sick Ascendancies, and the Gemling Legionnaire. I think all Ascendancies should have something that's cool like that. Hey, Young Wadak, what's happening, my man? Hope you've been oh, wow, I can't talk. I start streaming and I stop. I lose the ability to talk. My goodness gracious. I swear I've been able to talk perfectly fine this past month and a half, you guys. I've been watching your game show. I watched your game show video, your end game review, and your wife playing Path of Exile 2 for 1 hour. Those were really well done, dude. They're very entertaining. You and Schwingy, like the editing in those is just so freaking clean. I don't think I was going to say I don't think I have the skill. I don't think I have the patience either. I don't think I have the skill or the patience. Those are two things that I need to hone over a lot of time. But man, I think the patience is the real big thing for me. I don't think I can sit because I know you put I assume you put a absolutely titanic amount of effort into that. I just don't know if I could put the time and effort into that. I get so frustrated. It's mostly patience. See, I just knew it, man. Nah, I agree about the bosses. My Gemling using Flame Blast one-shots bosses. My brother, literally the first time he faced Arbiter of Divinity, one-shot it. It was depressing. He didn't see any move. I still think Arbiter of Ash is a better boss than Arbiter of Divinity. Come fight me, guys. Do you think it would be a good idea to add a unique tablet akin to Grand Design that would instead reveal point to the closest breach ritual area? That's a cool idea. The latter is such a pain in the butt to find, really untedious, unfun process. I think that's a great idea. Yeah. Yeah, because just wandering and farming endlessly it's not a good time. It's not a good time with these things that are incredibly rare. Not for Ritual though. As far as I know, Ritual is pretty clear cut how to find those, unless I'm mistaken. You do King of the Mist, you activate Rite of the you do the King of the Mist, you have to hold it in your inventory, and then there's a bunch of different areas you can open up the Rite of the Nameless in, essentially. Right? I think the Ritual one, but the Breach one, yeah, the Breach one is very random generation dependent. Okay, maybe I should, what did I say? Guys, I can't remember what I said. Did I say it was a better boss? Okay, subjectively, I like the Arbiter of Ash better because I think it's more about the skill of the player as opposed to the power of the character. I think Arbiter of Ash has more abilities that you need to outskill, and the Arbiter of Divinity can just be brute forced. I know they both can be brute force, but there are less abilities that the Arbiter of Divinity uses that can kill your character reliably. Let's be honest. Come on. Come on. Arbiter of Ash, though. We saw the numbers on the Arbiter of Ash. We know how deadly that guy is. Yeah, the old ascendancies definitely pale in comparison. Even at strong ascendancies like the Deadeye, I still think that they could have a couple nodes changed up to add some flair to them. Arbiter of Ash is a tougher boss. I think Divinity is better designed, but too squishy. Both need a buff. They all need a buff. Every boss needs a buff. I am so ardent about this fact. I am trying not to be an elitist. Seriously. I'm sorry if you struggle against the bosses, but I still think they need buffs. Seriously. Their health needs buffs. Some of their damage needs buffs. I think damage less so than the health. Like, they need to give a lot of characters can scale. Okay, here's the counterpoint. Or do characters just need nerfing? But we all know that won't happen. Because everybody will freak out, but I am so confident. What needs to happen is character power needs to be brought down. There's so much power creep in the game, and you're able to scale through all these vectors with a variety of skills at this point. That's what needs to be brought down. Player power. You don't even need to increase boss HP or power. You just need to nerf character power. That is very hard to do. And I'm unsure if Grinding Gear Games will do that. Very unsure. Divinity is aura farming. Divinity's vibe is immaculate. Okay. Arbiter of Divinity completely, here I'm going to use a very relevant internet term that people at my work have begun using. They've begun using two terms, okay? Arbiter of Divinity mogs Arbiter of Ash. Look how online I am, guys. I just said mog, okay? But Arbiter of Ash is death maxing. I don't know what. he's killing the most players per minute or characters per minute by far, right? I think there needs to be a little bit of balance there. Divinity hits 1,000 times, but like a wet noodle. Exactly. You killed all the quest pinnacle bosses when random drop gear. They definitely need to be. Yeah, I did too on SSF. Pretty quickly. It's difficult because they need to pull down the top without destroying the lower end for casuals who don't use guides. That's serious. That's why I think maybe the tutorial bosses are fine. The choice that they have made, and I respectfully disagree with it. I respectfully disagree with Grinding Gear Games' choice. The choice they've made to make the farming pinnacles, to even name them the farming pinnacles, I think is a bit of a farce. I think that they should have made those much more difficult, and they should be not the farming pinnacles, the aspirational pinnacles. Because if you're farming endgame bosses, your character should be at like a power level, okay? Your character should be at a certain power level. A player like me is never going to farm an endgame boss. I would like to see them as aspirational. Okay, I kill the tutorial version and that unlocks the harder version that now I need to build up my character to be 5x stronger to even have a chance to beat. I want to walk into the Bodak fight, non-tutorial version, and if I'm tanking basic abilities, if I walk into the secondary Bodak fight right after I do the tutorial, I want to walk in with that same character that I just, maybe beat the fight and 45 seconds and I'm tanking abilities. I want to walk in and just instantly get crushed by the first slam. That's personally how I would love it to be, where you will need to build up your character's strength and defenses a good chunk more to fight the second version of the bosses. That's not the design decision they've gone for, and it's because of exactly what somebody out here just outlined. Cirrus, you said it. It's because they want people to be able to beat these bosses without guides, even those secondary versions. There's no Ubers, there's no aspirational content in the game, except 200% 4-tablet city maps or grand expeditions that are juiced out the wazoo, right? But I think, I just don't think, I don't know. It's the bossing game, right? They really hyped up these bosses, and man, are the bosses a spectacle. Man, are the abilities awesome. And if you actually have to engage with these bosses, as I've been doing in my No Gear challenge, very well designed. for this type of game. So I just think they become trivial too easy. Hot take, but I kind of like bullet sponges. Some bosses need more HP right now. I believe they have 15 million. Raise it to around 50 million probably and raise their stun ailment threshold. That's another problem that nobody talks about, Rocky. Another critique that I have. I have a video coming out called Everything Wrong with Path of Exile 2 in 2026. Don't steal it, anybody. That's coming out soon. One of them, it's something nobody ever talks about with bosses. I think that you can freeze and stun bosses too easily, and I think that does also trivialize the bosses in some way. And you can add a little bit of extra challenge if you make the ailment threshold a bit higher on these bosses, specifically for stun and freeze. Hey, Rock Killer 124, what's happening, man? Why no PoE 1? Because it's not PoE 2. True. I don't like the idea of farming bosses in general. I don't either, Cirrus. I know that, and this is so fascinating, right? Because you don't want to design Path of Exile 2 for everybody, right? You don't. You want to design it for a specific audience who will really love the game. Grinding your games have been pretty evident about that. But I think there was an audience that they kind of are missing out on, because this is still the game where you do, I just ran 100 Kings in the Mist. Here's my profit, right? Nobody talks about the boss fight. Nobody talks about the abilities, what it takes to defeat him, the arena, the cinematics, the sound design. They don't talk about any of that. They just say, yeah, profit, I got 112 divines, and it cost me 108 divines to run this, so I made a profit of 4 divines. That's what they talk about. And I'm the type of player who I just don't like that, right? Which is another reason why I'm not playing PoE 1 right now, because a lot of it kind of does turn into a kind of a farming simulator game. And that's why I really didn't like, I think my reaction was pretty visceral when, I think it was Mark called the pinnacles the farming pinnacles, or farmable pinnacles or something in the reveal. I just don't like that, because that's almost them saying, yeah, these are things where they're just monsters that you kill. They don't matter. I despise that, because there's so much more. They could be so much more. And they're not leaning into that yet. Now, maybe they'll do that come 1.0, right? Maybe they can change that philosophy. I know they said they will. They're probably going to add Ubers eventually, but still. Hey, initial M31. Yeah, I haven't streamed in a while. I haven't streamed in like a month and a half. I've been, is gas the right word? Or does that mean you're ready to go? Compared to 0-1, yeah. Free stun to pin too strong. Pin is rodonkulous. Oh yeah, and by the way, guys, if you don't know, if you haven't seen my shorts or my video, if you download the new NVIDIA drivers and you have an NVIDIA graphics card, of course, that was redundant. I say the same thing twice. And you swap back to DX12, the grinding gear crashes are gone. Those are the only crashes that I ever had. I had them on stream pretty consistently. They are gone completely. NVIDIA fixed the issue. So no longer do you have those pauses where the screen freezes, it goes black, and you have the 2 grinding gears on your screen. They last between 30 seconds to 1 minute and 15 seconds. Those are gone. So NVIDIA had to fix those. I guess it was on NVIDIA's end. GGG must have made some calls, because NVIDIA employees were on the Path of Exile 2 subreddit, fielding questions, getting input, and they fixed it within a week. I have played Elden Ring for about 7 hours. I have not gotten past any of the real bosses. Hey, Matched Officer, what's happening, man? Welcome to Try Time. I didn't even have the new drivers, and I still don't have all crashes. They're all gone. Yeah, see, and some people don't even have the crashes. I didn't start having the crashes until 0.3, and then 0.3, they were horrendous. 0.4, they happen, but not a ton. And then 0.5, they started again in force. In absolute force. You're sure NVIDIA broke something else? Oh, goodness gracious. I know, Atab. That's funny, because they just lowered the ailment poise for 0.5 after Mark was watching Jonathan play and struggled to freeze bosses on his werewolf. I don't know what Jonathan was doing. because I freeze bosses on my werewolf. It's a joke. It was a joke in 0.4. I don't. No. See, yeah, I remember that part of the Q&A, brother. Okay. No, Rohan. Yes, Rohan. I spoke about this idea with my brother. Either they need to add the Luminary Ascendancy to PoE 2. They need to just drop the whole Scion in because the game is already giga complex. Just drop in the Scion. Or they need to add a node to Mercenary or a new Ascendancy for Mercenary, right? Where it allows them to recruit rogue exiles like mercenaries and outfit them with gear. I think just having a whole Ascendancy that is a Luminary in PoE 2 would be an amazing idea. You just drop that into PoE 2. How cool is that? With all the different skills that we have in Path of Exile 2. Oh, I love that so much. That was such a cool idea in PoE 1. Such a great idea. I played about 800 hours of PoE before the release of PoE 2. I tried it again, but I don't like that I can't run our dodge roll. The worst is no WASD. Lay style. Yeah. Okay. Here. So yeah, I decided I wasn't going to play Path of Exile 1 this league. And there are a couple reasons for that. And I decided to sit down and really think about why I'm not playing this game that I've loved since 2019. The first time I sat down to play Path of Exile 1, I said, oh my goodness. Tomorrow night, I'm getting on. I'm going to play for a couple of hours. Finish up the quests I was doing. Went to college the next day, got home from college, sat down at 9 p.m., played, looked over at the clock, and it was 6 a.m. I literally have never had that happen before. Played Dota 2, Guild Wars 2, Dungeons & Dragons Online, Age of Mythology, Diablo 2. Right? Nothing had grasped me like the first Path of Exile when I was 21 years old. Sitting in my apartment, alone, ready to just try out a new game. I knew nothing about this game, no guides, no tutorials. I just went in, played, loved it. I was a witch, and I just took what came. I had no idea what I was doing. I had an absolute blast. So why am I not playing Path of Exile 1 this particular league? I distilled it down to 4 core reasons. I want to see if this resonates with you guys in chat. Because obviously, you know, Path of Exile 2 stream, a lot of you guys might not be playing Path of Exile 1. If you aren't because of one of these reasons, let me know. Or a different one, just let me know in the chat, you guys. So I'm going to save the biggest one for last, and I think it may mirror the reason of a lot of you guys. So one of the reasons is because it's just too close to the Path of Exile 2 release for me. Absolute props to Grinding Your Games for releasing within schedule. But Path of Exile 2 0.5 patch came out on May 29th. That means that 3.29 came out less than 2 months after that. Okay? That is a lot of ARPG blasting. I know this is the dream for a lot of people, but after playing like 100 hours in this Path of Exile 2 league, I don't know, I couldn't fathom going from one ARPG to the next. And I know a lot of you guys are thinking, oh, well, I want to go from PoE 2 to PoE 1 to Last Epoch to Diablo 4 for a day to Torchlight Infinite to Grim Dawn expansion, back to PoE 2, and then just cycle through it. And you really like this season-based mentality. But I feel like I burn out if I play all these different ARPGs at once. So I think I see myself as picking the best from the bunch. And I do think the best for me personally is Path of Exile 2. And what feeds into this is my second reason. Path of Exile 2 and Path of Exile 1 are very, very similar games at this point, guys. I'm not kidding. Just try this out. Go to Twitch after this stream. Don't leave my stream to do this. Go to Twitch and turn on a Path of Exile 1 endgame stream. Tell me that if you watch Fubgun blasting in PoE 2 and Fubgun blasting in PoE 1, that game doesn't look almost identical. The big differentiating factor is in the campaign, I think. Because I think in Path of Exile 1, you start zooming pretty quick in the campaign. I say midway through Act 1, once you got Quicksilver, once you got one movement ability, you start zooming through everything, right? Blowing up and stuff. Path of Exile 2, the ramp is a little bit different, but the games are so similar in terms of the play style. I can't go from blasting 100 hours in one game to then playing a very similar game, and I think that contributes to the ARPG burnout. My boss, you guys know my boss, he plays Path of Exile 2. Isn't that very lucky for me? He's never played Path of Exile 1 before. He got into Path of Exile 2 with 0.1. He has become, and he's okay with me saying this, an absolute degenerate gamer. All right? This guy makes as much currency as some of the top blasters. He found X the Farmer X when X the Farmer only had his first zero to mirror video out. He watches Fubgun, he watches Rutu, he watches Jungroan. He watches all these guys, right? And he told me today, you know, I was watching some PoE1 streams, you know, just to see what it's like. And I know basically what's going on. It almost looks like identical games at this point. And I've only ever played Path of Exile 2. I've never touched Path of Exile 1, and these look like they are similar games. I know exactly what this guy's doing, what he's farming for. A lot of the unique items are very similar between the two games, and I totally agree with him. I feel like they're too similar for me to just keep going back. I feel like if they would have went in diverging paths, I probably would have been playing 3.29 if it weren't for these last two reasons, okay? Reason number 3, I think I'm getting a little old. I just have less time to dedicate to the games. And like I said, I'm going to choose the one that is best for me, especially when the releases are so close together. And I really don't want to burn myself out. But I'm also getting old, so my body is failing me. And I think this is actually, I'd put the other totals, a sum of 50% of the reason why I'm not playing, okay? And then this last thing is the other 50% of why I'm not playing this Path of Exile 1 League. Because I haven't actually told many people this, but I gave in and I tried the league out. Not on launch day, but on day 2. I was alone at home those days. I didn't play PoE1 on launch day. Me of 5 years ago would have called blasphemy, but it's true. Logged on day 2 and I gave it 15 minutes and I logged out. And the biggest reason why I'm not playing is because there's no WASD. I am not being facetious. This is totally real. There are so much is packed into that, you guys. I didn't realize how bad it was until I swapped back to maining a game where you use WASD. Because I played Guild Wars 2 for the longest time, Dungeons and Dragons Online. And these games are MMOs and they have WASD movement. That's not click to move. Okay? Even Dota 2, which I played 7,000 hours of, I didn't use my mouse to move my character. I had hotkeys to move my character, so I wasn't hurting my wrist that much. And I was much younger when I was absolutely fiending Dota 2. I remember the past 2 leagues I played Path of Exile 1, I started getting wrist pain. I'm 29 years old. Started getting legitimate wrist pain when I played. I played less than 2 weeks of Mirage. I played a lot of Mirage. I played like 30 hours or 35 hours in 2 weeks. I got 36 challenges, but my wrist was so painful. I have no wrist pain playing Path of Exile 2 at all. And it's because of WASD. If you're a Path of Exile 2 only gamer and you're wondering what the heck are you talking about, in Path of Exile 1, it is click to move. Okay? You click to move your character. You click to pick up items. You click to sort your inventory. You have to click on, you spam a lot of currency. So you're constantly clicking, you're clicking, you're clicking, you're clicking. You use this hand so much more than in Path of Exile 2. And it has a wear on you. A physical wear on me at least. And maybe I'm weak. Okay. I try, I exercise, I eat right, drink a lot of water. I'm healthy, but it literally, a game gave me pain. Okay. And I'm not even joking. I was already starting to feel it in like 15 minutes. Okay. And then the other part of that is it feels so much clunkier than WASD. It takes some getting used to, and I bet if I just push through it, I would be fine. But it just feels so much worse using your mouse to click. It just feels antiquated. And I think that this probably resonates with a lot of people, especially a lot of people who played PoE 2 first, tried PoE 1, right? And even some people who played PoE 1, loved it like me, and then went to PoE2 and tried to go back to PoE1, it's hard to get used to that type of movement again. And I found myself just thinking, you know what, this is not worth it, okay? And so I say, GGG. I think it's already too far gone on the whole games being too similar. I think they're just gonna be very similar at the end of the day. I think that the league release cadence, you know, if I would have it my way, I might swap that up a little bit. I know that's definitely controversial, but hey, if I was emperor of ARPGs, I would probably have the releases be a little bit further apart. That's just me. But I do know, grinding gear games, if you add WASD to Path of Exile 1, I think a heck of a lot more people are going to try it. And I might even pick it back up again because it might be like a comfort game. Okay, I go back to Dungeons and Dragons Online pretty commonly. I'm playing it right now with my brother. That's like my comfort game. I bet that would be the comfort game for a lot of people if it was non-painful to play. And I know Path of Exile 1 is making strides in that direction. They just made an excellent change to do with sockets and colors of sockets. That was beautiful. I think WSD is still the biggest bang for your buck change that you can make. And I know that you said the animations are a big deal and you got to redo all the rigs to make this happen. Diablo 4 did it in a season. Last Epoch did it in a season. Rigs be damned. I would just implement it. I would just shoot it in. You ship 75% baked league mechanics sometimes, and you know, sometimes maybe loot's a little broken. It looks like damage calculations might be off. Maybe that's just streamers, maybe that's just Reddit. I don't know. I would ship it. Who cares about the animations? I would implement just the way. I know that you can't move while attacking, but just being able to move with WASD, I think would do wonders. And I know there's mods and hacks, and somebody was talking about me getting a foot pedal. No. I think just adding WASD would be a mega win. And it's hard to go back. In fact, I can't go back. And Path of Exile 2 is the reason I'm done with PoE1 right now. That's just the truth. I'll probably give it a go in 3.30 after ExileCon because you always do. I gave in. I told myself I wasn't even going to log in to 3.29. I did. I only lasted 15 minutes. And that's not a long time. 15 minutes is not long, you guys. That was okay. So that's it. That's why I'm not playing PoE1 right now. What do you guys think? What you guys kind of agree? By the way, I'm trying to be efficient and double up on making videos in addition to streaming. So that's why I wasn't constantly yapping back and forth the chat. I'm going to try to turn that into a video. We'll see. What am I yapping about? Well, I can't go back to PoE1. It just feels clunky. It hurt my wrist. What do you guys think? Like you said, the amount of work, money, and time that would have to go into a thing like rigging, I just cannot see it as a thing that's worth doing. Yeah, they can't, like, that's too much effort. I would just drop the control screen. Just make your character turn. I know they can do it. If Last Epoch devs and Diablo 4 devs and Grim Dawn, they can all do it. Come on, I know GGG can do it. WSD is less drastic than dumping gem colors. It's way less drastic mechanically. They just said they just can't do it because of it needing new rigs. Disagree. The mechanic is my favorite PoE1 mechanic ever. Crap. What mechanic? Controller on PoE1 literally because of the wrist pain, brother. Controller on PoE1. Ugh. I agree, but I'm still 25. Oh, you're responding to the guy above? Wait, which one? What's your favorite mechanic? This new one? This new league mechanic? Okay. Well, I'm going to talk about this for just a moment. The Ocean Delve Heist. Dude, they need to add that crafting method that you get at the bottom of the boat as a random map you can find in PoE2. How sick would that be? If you add it along the coast as like a shipwreck? So if you find a coastal area, you're like, oh my gosh. Coastal area. I could find one of these awesome crafting areas where you basically get a giga powerful Hinakora's lock. How awesome would that be? I think that is definitely something they could do in PoE too. You think they're too hung up on making it feel like native WSD? They totally are. I'm gonna be honest, it's hard to go back to PoE1 now that PoE2 has been fleshed out. Praise, brother. Praise. Praise. Especially with 0.5. I think 0.5 is what knocked it over, because I went back for 3.27 and 3.28, but 3.29, it's not there. Adding Abyss and Breach the exact same as PoE2 is a bad idea. It makes PoE1 feel stale way faster. 100%. Lunchbox, they're too similar. I'm gonna add that back into the section. And if you just want me to prove my point that they're too much the same game, they literally just dropped Abyss from PoE 2 into Path of Exile 1. But it doesn't have the cool rewards that you get in Path of Exile 2. And even Breach in Path of Exile 1 honestly doesn't feel as good as Breach in Path of Exile 2 either, because again, the rewards aren't really there. I played PoE 1 now and no WSD hurts. It does. It really does. As a click to move enjoyer, PoE 1 feels just the same. See, Andrew? I knew it. Let's be honest, PoE 1 is the test grounds for PoE 2. We will see something similar to this season mech on PoE 2 eventually. And I think that is so bad for people who play PoE 1 and PoE 2. I think it's great for people who play one game. I think but I think it's worse for the PoE 1 players, because I think that is the here. I don't want it. I'm not trying to stir up anything. I'm not, guys. I just... Do I even pull this up? I don't want to. Do I want to stir up anything? Do I want to do this? I mean, it doesn't mean anything. It doesn't mean anything. It doesn't mean anything. I just think that it's... Okay, another really interesting thing that I haven't been able to talk about. I want to get your guys' take on. I want to get your guys' take on this. Do you remember how in the 3.28 Q&A, one of the developers said that, yeah, we have Path of Exile 1, and we just really want to make our core veteran players happy with Path of Exile 1. And that's who we care about. You guys remember this? Someone said that, right? That was in 3.28. So not this league, but last league. Something along those lines of, yeah, Path of Exile 1 is the game for our veterans. It's for the people who've been playing our franchise for a long time, and we want to make sure we meet their needs and concerns. Okay? I think one of the developers said that during the interview with Ziggy D. No, they definitely said that. No, they definitely said that. No, they said that. Okay? And then this Q&A, they said, yeah, we really want new players coming into Path of Exile 1. We were looking at all the things that new players were saying confused them and made things difficult. So we really want to make Path of Exile 1 a welcoming space. Very interesting. Thought that was interesting. I think that they might have realized that saying the veteran thing might have, it's a bigger detriment, I think, to Path of Exile 1 than they would want it to be. There's no money if you only focus on the core players. Well, I just think Path of Exile 2 is the future. I just think that's where it is, guys, with them being so similar. And I think that's okay, because I think they have a really great dedicated team who's going to make fun leagues and keep improving the game. Even though it does seem like Path of Exile 1 is having quite a few problems. I'm shocked to see it. It's like there's like ground loot like reward problems and everything. So it's unfortunate. PoE 1 and PoE 2 should be significantly different for the long-term success of GGG. Yeah, no, I totally agree. Lunchbox 4415, we agree on this massively. This is like a debate that I've had for so long. So which one will die though? Path of Exile 1 will die. If they became the same game, Path of Exile 1 will die. Short term, it's better. Yeah. Try what's the key to your happiness? Funnel me some of that energy. Having a wonderful family and people that I know care about me. That's seriously what it is. Knowing that I have a bunch of people who rely and care about me and I can have a good time with. For example, tonight I'm going to go see the new Spider-Man movie with my father-in-law, mother-in-law, brother-in-law, and my brother. That's the number one thing. Make sure you have people who care about you. Whether it's friends, whether it's family, that's the big thing, because those are forever. Everything else is ephemeral. Success on the internet, ephemeral. Success at a job, Not permanent. Family, that's the core thing. That's why, not to get crazy, guys, but not to... I'm going to regulate. I'm going to regulate. Self-regulation, inauthenticity, checking in. Yeah, but that's mostly because 90% of the company focuses on PvE2. Yeah, that's right. People still play D2, so it's got a long life to go. Yeah, it's not going to ever die out, guys. It's not going to die out unless GGG wants that to happen, and they don't want that to happen pretty obviously. So, okay. Saw the Spider-Man movie. Felt like watching cartoon TV series as a kid on Sunday morning. Ooh. Yeah, so it's all lies from here on out. No, I just had to keep myself in check with that very real thing that I was going to say. Yeah, I'm seeing it tonight. It doesn't release until Thursday night here. So I get to see it tonight with because my father-in-law owns the movie, like runs the movie theater. So it's going to be fun. Okay. So I was going to do a react. I was going to do a react of Scorpius's review of the League. But I still do it, you guys? Have you guys already seen it? Has anybody seen Scorpius's review of the League? I trust Scorpius's opinion, and he has played it a lot more than I have. So I think we're going to do dueling opinions here. Because I'm not a blaster. Okay? I played about 100 hours. I think Scorpius played like 1,000 hours. Okay, maybe not 1,000 hours, but a lot of hours. Okay. We're gonna watch it on stream then. We're gonna watch it on stream. Okay. All right, here it's time for some react content. Make sure it's all good on your guys' end.
So it's been a while since.
Perfect. Okay, let's get you guys on here. All right. Okay. All right. Let's do it. This is the first guy that I had a podcast with in 0.5. Okay. Okay, we have a video here. PoE2 0.5 is so good, but these fixes need to happen. Scorpius usually has pretty great videos. I think I may have watched a bit of this before, but I'd like to give it a full react because Scorpius and I are diametrically opposed players. You see, I play about 50 to 100 hours. This league I played 100 hours, and he plays way more in Trade League, mixed currency farming strategies, and has a very different viewpoint on the game. But usually he expresses it differently, even if we disagree. So we're going to go ahead and see what he thought about 0.5 2 months into the patch. I didn't pre-watch. I did watch a little bit of it, okay? So we're gonna go in with a little bit of pre-watch, okay? Let's do it.
So, it's been a while since I've finished everything that there is to do in the game, and I decided that now is a good time to talk about the current state and future of Path of Exile 2. I didn't want to rush into making this video just for the sake of making it. I wanted to experience as much as I could, and I did exactly that. I've got over 600 hours in 0.5 alone, focused on...
Oh my goodness gracious. Okay, so I said 1,000 hours. 600 hours in 0.5, almost 4K in the entire league. I immediately want to call out the type of gameplay that he's going through here. Looks like he's doing a Giga Juiced Expedition right now with Delirium. Yeah, so he's juiced everything to the maximum.
Exactly that. I've got over 600 hours in 0.5 alone, focused on 2 characters in softcore, tested 5 to 6 different kind of builds, and farmed and recorded data.
Oh my goodness, he records everything. Yeah. Yeah. No. So we are not the same. We are not the same.
For each mechanic, from easy and budget friendly to giga juiced and expensive. I tried multiple variations of meta and non-meta builds and abilities, killed all the pinnacle bosses, did all the challenges, farmed all the chase items, played hardcore SSF, and much more. And
wait. Did he do all that in hardcore solo self-found? No, he didn't. He did it in a trade league, right? I think so.
Here's my opinion on the current state of Path of Exile 2 and its future. Your opinion and feedback matters just as much as mine, so let me know what you think in the comments down below. Whether you agree or disagree doesn't really matter, just share your opinion and I'm gonna read it. You can also join me live every single day right here on YouTube, Twitch, or Kick. All links are down below. First of all, I'm gonna begin by saying that 0.5 is by far the best league that I've played so far, and it's not even close.
I disagree with Scorpius. 0.1 was the best league, in my opinion. I think that was the most original state of the game. Probably the most fun I had. So if you're judging a league based on fun, I'd say it was 0.1. If you're judging a league based on state of the game and stability, right, 0.5. I do agree. But 0.1 still was the most fun league for me.
However, there are some things that need fixing ASAP, and we're going to get to those very soon. What makes this league the best, in my personal opinion, is simply the multitude of genius ideas that GG has implemented in the game. Number one, for example, are the mechanical reworks they recently added. Breach, Delirium, Abyss, and Ritual were always fun in their own way, but I always felt that they were too plain and missed something small that would make them pop even more. With the new rework, they all feel so much better.
It's not even just the mechanics that feel great. I think what they really hit the nail on the head of, that is not the saying, but I'm going to go with it, are the rewards. Every single mechanic feels rewarding, no matter if you're an SSF or I've talked to my friends, if you're in trade, whatever you're doing, it always felt like it was worth your while to boost your character's power. And I love that they all have multiple unique boss fights now. They have multiple unique mechanics. Fighting multiple bosses in Ritual was super fun while it lasted. I hope they add that back because I don't like the sequential stuff that is now in the game. But all these different ways to play these mechanics was phenomenal.
For example, entering a breach and watching it expand and then finishing it was nice and easy and a pretty fun mechanic. But with the 0.5 changes, having a progression bar, then having it stabilize with rares for a second phase that also drops womb gifts, hive blood, and a brand new Genesis tree that you can play around with, made it more complex and gave it its own identity, which made it...
There's so many different moments where you feel good. Like he kind of just pointed out one or two. He pointed out it opening and closing, and then the progress bar. Okay, so Breach just by itself. Let's think about moments where you feel good. And they can be super small. When it's opening and then closing, when you've hit the progress bar filling up, when the rares go in the center, when you kill the rares, then you get the big burst of womb blood and hive blood and womb gifts. And then when you go back to the tree and you get to interact with the tree and get these incredible jewelry rewards or potentially currency rewards, there's just so many moments that make you feel like, hey, I'm glad I did this, you know?
It even more fun. The same could be applied to Delirium, Ritual, and Abyss, each in their own way. But they all have one new thing in common now. They feel like more than just a mechanic, as they each have their own identity with their own currency, NPCs, and hubs. This makes it easier for a player to fully farm a specific mechanic, which feels completely disconnected from the rest of the game, and then move on to the next one when they get bored. And when you
yeah, and the stories too. I know he's probably not going to touch on it, but just the built out stories for each of these NPCs, how they first appear in your maps, how the dialogue changes based on your character class. You have some special moments if you're the monk right now. I mean, so much work was put into this. It feels like a secondary campaign that is completely sandbox. And I really like that feeling. And I can't wait to see it expanded in 0.
Combine these changes with a reworked and polished Atlas tree, we end up with a game where every single mechanic prints divines in its own way. No matter what you choose, there's a way you can print a ton of currency if that's what you're after. Ritual with purple omens, Breach with loot explosions and womb gifts for catalysts or rings, Delirium with splinters, Temple with its own temple currency, Abyss with omens and raw currency, and Expedition with sagas and a bunch of other stuff.
See, this looks like what I do at work, you guys. I just can't. I cannot get off work where I'm interacting with, I was going to say spreadsheets and Claude now. I use lots of Claude. I just can't. I get this is how people play the game and they love doing this and tracking everything in sheets. But my mantra is the less time you spend in game, the worse the game is and the worse your experience is likely to be. I know that's not the case with a lot of PoE players, but this looks like hell to me. No, that's Scorpius. I can't.
Obviously,
Also, you need dark mode. You really need to install that extension, man.
if you're min-maxing the game and your only goal is to make as much divs per hour as possible, some mechanics are obviously better or more efficient than others. But the game isn't made for min-maxers alone. It's made for a wider player base. So this whole change was amazing because it helps reduce player burnout. Something
100%. It gives, as someone just said in the chat, you love, they gave us more direct goals. Complete the Atlas, complete the Masters, complete all challenges. I'm a dad gamer, almost all able to complete all of it. And you wanted to. Subject 9875, you and I, same wavelength, my man. Yep. And by the way, if you are a Chayula monk, you do not, well, something different happens if you're a Chayula monk and you interact with Chayula.
It was very difficult to say in point 4 with the temple, since it was primarily the go-to mechanic simply because of how much better the results were compared to everything else. Another great addition to these mechanics of point 5 is that almost all of them have these jackpot insanely rare chase items that you can randomly get or farm that will keep you busy. Ritual with the belts, Simulacrum with voices, Temple with communion, anomaly maps with lineage support gems, and so much more. This adds to the player's dopamine each time those mechanics reward them, further increasing player.
I hate that word so much, dopamine. I mean, he's right. That's what I was describing, but I despise that word.
Their engagement and their will to farm, which is also very important. Another reason on my list that point 5 felt so good is the brand new outdoors mechanic, the Verisium Remnants. I feel that this new mechanic has brought much more to the game than any other mechanic introduced before. A mechanic where you
Abyss was number 1. Scorpius, totally disagree.
You can choose your reward, reroll if you don't like it, includes a loot explosion at the end, can be juiced, can be chained, has its own currency that adds a separate layer of player power, which can be used as a defense or a resource for new abilities, also alters items and uniques, has a ton of crafting capabilities and potential, and can be combined with other mechanics as well. It just seems a very well-rounded mechanic. With everything I just mentioned, plus the ocean exploration, it shouts core. It single-handedly expanded the game further and deeper, and it's one of the best mechanics that you can actually farm without it overshadowing the rest of them significantly like Temple did in point 4. And apart from this new mechanic, there's one more reason which ties well to everything else that I've mentioned so far, and that's the newly added Atlas Masters, the Atlas map, and the reworked Atlas tree. Makes the game fuller, and most importantly, it fixed a major problem that we had, which was the endgame progression. What I mean is that I personally felt
there's so many road stops. It's amazing. Yeah, I think the endgame update knocked it out of the park. Once we have Act 5 and 6 in a couple months, guys. Oh my goodness. It's just gonna be, what a full freaking awesome game we're gonna have. But I'm going to miss the interludes a little bit. Man, they built it out this patch. They really built out the end game.
That I had the freedom to explore at my own pace and will. I didn't necessarily have to go in a certain direction to feel the progression towards the end game of requiring and unlocking all the important aspects of the end game. And if we look at the late end game, these aspects of the game also give you the ability to giga juice every path of the end game, which is what results in all mechanics being super viable to farm. So these were some of the most important and best changes in point 5 that I've noticed that made a huge difference to the game and the way that I played and experienced the game. Of course, I've mostly talked about endgame, which is where the real game starts, but some others.
No, Scorpius, no, is he gonna advocate for a campaign skip? Oh crap, no. We used to call dopamine fun. Hell yeah, Rymork. Yup, it's just fun.
Small points that are 100% worth mentioning are things like the campaign navigational additions and map reworks. Although they could do a bit better with shortening some maps more, cutting down some RP timers and other stuff that feel unnecessarily long, it's still better than before. The 2 new ascendancies is also a good point to talk about. The Spirit Walker and the Martial Artist were spot on perfect. Both of them were unique to their class and brought something different to the game that we didn't really have before. They didn't feel like a slightly different version or better version of something else, which also helps with my—
Totally true, they were unique and beautiful. Bang on about this. Hey, Jazarus, what's happening, my man? God bless to you too. It's been a while. I think the campaign is perfectly fine. You know what? That's my hot take. I think the campaign is fine. Deal with it, guys.
My final point here, which is the build diversity. I feel like the build diversity in PoE 2 got better after point 4 with the addition of the Druid, but point 5 helped shape it up even more. With the 2 new ascendancies and some great balance changes that they've made, even though there are a few abilities that we thought they're gonna get nerfed, but they didn't, we've seen a ton of builds being experimented with in different unique variations across multiple classes and ascendancies. These were some of the most important changes and improvements to the game. Now, let's talk about the not so pleasant one.
Okay, so we're going to talk about the feedback now. By the way, his character looks absolutely sick. Yeah, I think the campaign is probably the most fun part of the entire game is the campaign, and then the bosses in end game if you struggle against them. My second favorite part.
First, and definitely the most important, is the performance.
Yes, he is 100% true. I'm glad they fixed the one NVIDIA crash. There's still a ways to go.
I'm not sure what needs to happen, and I really wish that I had the skills and knowledge to help GEG with this, but I definitely know that something drastic needs to happen. Like, we cannot go into 1.0 with the performance that we've experienced in 0.5, especially with the launch of such a huge release and the amount of people who will be joining the game. The performance of PoE 2 has never ever been smooth sailing. I've always heard comments and everything since 0.1, but it was always a based on the individual kind of case. It always depended on what rig you're on, what console you're playing, what settings you have. In 0.5, I feel like there isn't a single person right now watching this video who hasn't had any of these performance issues. I'm talking about,
for me, it was just the NVIDIA crash, so now my game, I'm blessed. Now my game is pretty much fine. You just quit PoE 1 for the first time in 5 years, back on PoE 2. I know, brother, it's a crazy feeling, isn't it?
crashing, stuttering, severe FPS drops, disconnection, server latency.
Okay,
Shaders resetting for no reason, bugs getting you killed, bugs getting you disconnected, boss or monster glitches. Some builds are almost unplayable, and party play can definitely fry up your system. And apart from all of this, we've seen an insane amount of bugs throughout the 0.5 launch.
All right,
obviously,
brother, here, I'm gonna spit some truth to everybody watching this and to Scorpius. This is the reality, and it always will be. This game is so freaking complex, convoluted. There's all this crap going on. This game is going to be buggy. It has patches every 3 to 4 months that add a ton of content to the game. There's going to be bugs existing. I know it sucks, but it's real. Party play is never going to be fixed ever in your life. You will never be able to play party play and be able to see what your characters are doing. And due to the way the game is made, performance is always going to be shit in some regard. You are going to have so many monsters on screen. Your character is going to be shooting so many projectiles. Your area of effect is going to scale to be so large. You will never have a good performance on your system. It does not matter what your system is. It doesn't matter if you're playing Xbox, PS5, a supercomputer. It doesn't matter. The game will break. If they went with the game that was more readable, had more visual clarity, wasn't allowing you to scale nearly as much in terms of your area of effect, projectiles shooting out per second, number of projectiles, juicing all these monsters on screen, then we have something to talk about. If you are doing what many players are doing, super juice, 200% delirium maps with endgame builds, yes, the game is going to play like shit. I don't know what else to say. If you're doing the campaign and you're having performance problems, yeah, maybe you should look at that, but it's probably your system. People complaining about performance issues that aren't crashes and like FPS drops and stuff, guys, it's just a part of the game. I have played Path of Exile 1 for 7 years now. Okay? That game has been destroying computers when you get to endgame for over a decade. Okay? So I don't know. People always talk about this, and the crashes, real problem. Those need to be fixed. Those are obviously performance stability issues. But the frame drops and it being choppy when you're playing crazy juice content, it's always going to happen. So Yeah, just had to address that. Like the bugs are going to happen. They're just going to happen, guys. Yes, they suck. They're going to happen. There's no way to fix all of them.
Going to say there's a lot of content, obviously there's going to be bugs. I agree, but up until today there are some ridiculous bugs that are completely destroying the experience of a lot of players that need fixing ASAP. One thing I do have to mention though that I absolutely love, in 0.5 GG super active with addressing a lot of these bugs while also adding new content to the game. The attention that they've shown in 0.5 is something that we didn't get before, and it definitely helps the game. However, with the upcoming 0.5.5 economy reset league that they're going to be doing, I truly hope that they mainly focus on fixing the performance and the existing bugs, but we're going to talk about that in a later section. Now, the second topic I wanted to discuss that didn't quite sit well with me are the city maps and Delhi juicing. For anyone who doesn't know what I'm talking about, let me paint you a picture. This
is the part of the video I have pre-watched, by the way, guys. Somebody sent me this clip and I watched it. So I have seen this part. People will also disagree with my take here. Yeah, I'll share a link with the video here. I'll just do it now. I usually do it at the end, but I'll just share it right here.
This is only if you want to run the maps at their maximum potential. Mechanics such as Breach and Abyss require a specific method of juicing to maximize your profit and rewards from those maps. So what you gotta do is the following. You need to run random maps with Delirium tablets until you trigger a Grand Mirror map, which spawns randomly from maps that you run with Delhi tablets. Then you need to find an area with city maps. The reason why is because we have an Atlas node that allows you to add a fourth tablet only on those specific maps. The city maps. Obviously, the more tablets that you have, the juicier it's going to be, so there's literally no reason to run 3 tablets rather than 4 if you want to maximize it. So you need to path around your Atlas map looking for cities, which are mostly found around citadels. When you find the cities, then you need to go back to the Grand Mirror, complete that Grand Mirror map, and then select the recently discovered city maps in the hopes that it will cover all of the city maps with Delhi Fog. Why? Because that will trigger the Delhi mirrors, enhancing the maps even further. When you do that, nope, you're not done. Those Delhi maps have a progression bar that you can push to 200%. The higher the percentage, the harder and juicier it is. So of course, you want to run your main maps at 200%. So now what you want to do is you want to go and fully complete around 5 to 6 maps so you can bring that percentage from 0 to 100%. When you do that, then and only then can you run the city maps with 200% Delhi and 4 tablets of your chosen mechanic. Keep in mind that there's only around 8 city maps within a region, and some of them might not even get hit by the Delhi. So you need to...
Okay, so he just explained the strategy. This is the super juicing strategy that the top tier gamers have engineered, have optimized to do in Path of Exile 2 0.5. And he is essentially saying there's too much setup work here, there's too much random chance, it's too convoluted. I say nay. I say, if you want to have the highest rewards in the game, the highest chance at the best items, the most currency, you need to do something like this. What are you supposed to do? Is it supposed to just be like an easy setup? It makes sense to me. And remember, my take is as a non-super juicer. It makes sense to me that it requires this amount of 1, preparation, 2, random chance, and 3, knowledge of setting this up to happen. I know that it is, I think he compares it to like the towers, the overlapping towers, but I still see, I don't see it as the towers, because the towers was basically random chance. There's a lot of other building blocks happening here, and I guess I don't, what do juicers want? Do they want it to be kind of a deterministic way to get the absolute best farm in the game? Or should it be something that is pretty convoluted like this, which is what makes it so hard to access and what makes it so lucrative? Remember, outsider looking in. But I just think like this is kind of like optimizing the fun out of the game and then being like, this isn't fun. That's just my take. So let's see. Hey, Guitarholic, what's happening, man? Yeah, I'm streaming every Wednesday now, Guitarholic. Hope you're doing well. It's late for you. What the heck are you doing up? Thanks for the 29 months, dude. life has been busy with pregnant wife, 2 kids, job, just everything. I needed to reorient what I was doing with my life, right? Take some time to chill, play some old games, hang with family, get back on my workout routine. The cruise actually made me more tired than I was before the cruise, but we're back now. We're back every Wednesday. You made a post about it, Keto. Okay, I will read your post, Keto, after this video because my take is what I just said. Pretty hot with 700 upvotes, 500 comments. I don't do this, never will. I've literally never done that. And I played 350 hours. Hey, bro, what's happening, man? Bosses should be the challenge. I agree. If I progress far enough, that is how I have fun. Me too, Damus Anus. I love your name. Or limit the number of mods, yeah. Oh my goodness, Guitar, that's insane. You're about to go on Holiday Friday, so, congratulations. A-Tab, that's exactly my take. That's what they all don't understand. The reason it's tuned to be so juicy is because it's tedious to access. If the tedium is removed, the juice will come down too. Monkey's paw curls and all. Yeah. Well, if you experience super juice content, it's tough to play normal maps after. Yeah, because so once you set this up, it's kind of hard to do it again, and it can miss, right? Maybe the juice should be tradable. Ooh, okay. Thanks, Keto. I appreciate it, man. Yeah, I haven't been live for like a month and a half, so you caught me at the right time. I'll read your thread after finishing this video, but I watched this clip. This was the only pre-watch. I just disagree with what Scorpius is saying. I think there needs to be this tedium. I think it needs to be difficult. I think there needs to be chance because it is so lucrative. And I don't really see this as a problem. I think that the tower thing was more problematic because it was pure random chance. This is not. The brothers try going to take on THT together. I'm going to play. My brother is not. Thanks, Keto. When my dad gets back from his Alaskan cruise, I think we're going to do a podcast together. All right. Let's see what else he has to say.
Repeat this process over and over again in different areas. Again, when I said you have to do it, this is if you want to min-max to its full potential. So now that you know the process, I think you can understand what my problem is and where I'm going with this. Although it gets easier and quicker the more you do it, it's just annoying and unnecessary. It feels like the exact same thing as the 3-4 tower setup that we used to have, where you'd path to random bad maps just so you can get the good maps that you want to, which is something that GEG and Jonathan specifically said that they don't want players to do. They want each map to be significant and valuable, and that's definitely not the case.
But the thing is, you're asking for all the maps to be the most valuable and everything. It can't be that way. You need to have bad maps. Jonathan and Mark have also said that you need the bad maps to make the good maps feel better. You can't constantly be eating the glazed donuts, okay? You're going to need to shove some broccoli in your mouth and a piece of cooked chicken, right? You can't just keep eating the glazed donuts, okay? It's not good for you, okay? I totally agree with Scorpius. He responded to me too. I left a comment. We'll read it in a moment.
I personally felt. Not sure about you guys, let me know, but I didn't. The moment you have just one specific area that's better than the rest, obviously that makes that area so much more valuable than everything else.
Yes.
And on top of that, if you add one specific mechanic enhancing it by 200%, nothing else matters apart from the combination of those two specific things. A solution to this could be removing the 4th tablet slot from city maps specifically. Make it free for all maps, but add a different requirement. For example, tier 1 to 14 maps have 3 tablet slots. Tier 15 plus have the 4th. Obviously, everyone's going to be running tier 15s, but that's a standard goal now anyway. Or if you don't like that, create one more level of maps. Have the default maximum waystone tier be at 16, and if corrupted, it becomes 17. And lock the 4th tablet behind tier 16 and 17 maps. This wouldn't only give players a goal to work towards, it would also increase the difficulty of the game slightly, which is something that the majority of players, myself including, are asking for. I'm sure that this system would create other problems that I probably didn't think about, but I'm also sure that it's much better than what we currently
have. So if that system happened where you could run T16s and you get the 4th tablet, the new problem would be oh, I can't run a map unless I have T16 maps. And you need to either trade for them, and I bet GGG is going to make them extremely rare to corrupt. Therefore, they will be very expensive, so you'll need to farm unprofitable maps to fund your tier 16 map obsession, or just try to corrupt them yourself. That just becomes what you always then need to do instead of, see, maybe I'm an optimist. Scorpius, am I an optimist? If you watch the Scorpius, I don't know why I'm acting like you're in the room with me, but I see this as extra icing on top of my lovely cake. I think if you added the T16 method, unlocking the 4th tablet, that becomes the floor. That becomes something that you always think you need to do. I see this as like something that, oh yeah, sometimes I will find this perfect scenario and I get the opportunity to set this all up. I think Scorpius is kind of saying this is necessary to be rewarded, which big pushback there from me.
Have now chasing one specific region of the entire atlas, which makes 90% of the entire atlas almost useless to go to. And regarding Delhi,
no, see, I totally disagree. I haven't seen any of this now. This is not watched. 90% of the atlas totally useless to go to. That is a crazy mentality. No, totally disagree. No.
Any mechanic that can enhance your juicing in maps in the future of the game, there could be a similar system to what PoE1 has with Maven, Searing, Exarch, and the Eater. For those who don't know, I'm not going to explain the full thing, just TLDR. In PoE1, once you progress, kill some of the pinnacle bosses, and hit some specific requirements on specific mechanics, you get 3 buttons next to your maps, your map that you're going to go to, where you can select which one you want to enhance the map. Each one juices it differently, and it's up to you if you want to do it. They don't need to copy paste the PoE1 system, but having completed the Delirium progress, met the requirements, you killed the boss, we could just have a toggle on and off option on our maps that people can select whether they want it in their maps, juice it by 100% or 200%. Obviously, everybody who wants to min-max is going to go 200, but at least that gives players the option who don't have insane gear or want to skip the deli to not have the deli or have it a little bit. And it cuts down all the pathing and preparations required to run a few maps first. That's my personal solution. I don't know if you guys agree with that. Let me know what your comments are.
I disagree, Scorpius. I even don't like that solution. I like the as you put it, the basically the friction that you need to set up. And yeah, Kajiro, I think adding that to from PoE1, like something like that, unneeded complexity here. I call this the Vampire Survivors mentality. They don't want to earn their power. They don't want to do the campaign, want to skip to the good bit. Yeah, that's the trend. That's the trend. I saw an amazing video from, I don't know if you guys know who this is, Laura Fryer, that came out today, popped up on my feed. And it was titled something like, Game Devs, Stop Removing Friction, Be Mean to the Players. And I was like, yes, preach, Laura. Preach. It was a really good video. Let me get it. Let me get it up. Laura Fryer, Xbox. Yep, Xbox. He has a YouTube channel. This one right here. I'm not subbed on my my Talkative Try account. It's this video, The Power of Friction.
Our future was being decided.
Reclaiming the soul of game dev. It's excellent video. Massive shout out. Okay. We are back. We are back here.
And my last major issue with 0.5, worth mentioning, is the endgame pinnacle bosses.
He's going to say they're too easy, and I'm going to agree with him, and he's going to win all of us back. Are you ready? Are you ready, guys?
Sure if you guys have had the same experience that I've had, but personally I find them non-existent. They don't feel like bosses, they just feel like larger rare monsters with stories behind them. Almost every single rare monster in Grand Expedition is probably tougher than the pinnacle bosses we currently have. On top of that, I also think that the majority of pinnacle bosses have terrible loot tables and aren't
disagree on that, based on what he said before though.
even worth running. But even the ones that are worth running have zero difficulty or challenge. You simply go in, hit them twice, wait for the second phase, hit them once more, and you're done. And I'm not even talking about expensive or crazy builds, by the way. I don't have the perfect solution for this, but something I'd like to see is giving players the choice to select their own difficulty, because I don't think the Doriani is doing a very good job at the moment. I'd like to see their loot tables be much better than now. Increase the amount of chase items so we can find from the pinnacle bosses, and maybe add a loot explosion upon killing a boss with a bunch of different useful things like currency.
Yeah, Shrill, we talked about this at the beginning. Nerfing player power is the solution, but I don't think they're going to do it. I'd like the... Am I not remembering 0.1 correctly, but didn't they have 4 levels of pinnacle bosses, and you got higher chances to get better rewards, the higher level pinnacle boss? I loved that system. That reminded me of raids. I loved that.
And raw gems and whatever. Give players the choice to select easy mode and make those chase items super rare with a smaller loot explosion. Medium mode, increase the drop chance of the chase item and increase the drop size of the loot explosion. Hard mode, increase it even more. And then Uber mode, increase it even more. But an Uber boss that doesn't scale back to hard if you die, doesn't throw you out after one try, doesn't reset its health to where it was before. A difficulty that truly challenges us, and upon completing it, we get a loot explosion so good that even if you...
Wait, did he say Uber bosses don't throw you out after you die? They totally should.
Try. Doesn't rescale back. And then Uber mode, increase it even more. But an Uber boss that doesn't scale back to hard if you die, doesn't throw you out after one try, doesn't reset its health to where it was before. A difficulty that truly challenges us, and upon completing it, we get a loot explosion so good that even...
Nah, you should get thrown out if you die in an Uber. Hey, Kadashi, I do not do vertical. I have never tried vertical before. I'm afraid it will break everything. He's saying they shouldn't. Wait, am I mishearing him? They shouldn't do that. I feel like they should, you know? I would be much happier if we had quest version boss, farming boss, and then Uber boss. Don't even give it good rewards. Honest, I'm not even kidding you guys. I would like to just, like, it's bragging rights. I would totally be fine with Uber bosses literally just being bragging rights. Give me a 50 million HP, higher damage Arbiter of Divinity with maybe one special move or something. Maybe it drops foiled versions of the unique items that he typically drops. I think that would be so cool. Am I the only one that thinks this way? I think I must be one of the only people who think this way. That would be awesome. I would strive for that. I'd be like, I want to kill Uber Arbiter of Divinity and try to get one of his foiled uniques this league. I'm the only one. Dang it. Dang it. No. How about reverting dodge roll back to 0.10? How about that, guys? Am I still the only one? Am I still the only... Do I have any allies in the chat? I'm going to shut up. I'm going to shut up now.
Even if you don't get the chase item, it's still worth running it. I mean, if you cannot kill the Uber boss, you're not ready. You either need to become better at the game or get better gear. It is what it is. Get good. Yep. It is a game. We need to have that challenge in the game. Whoever doesn't like it, just don't run it. Run the previous version. That's my take. I don't know if you guys agree with that or you don't agree with that, but let me know what you think about the bosses. Anyway, those are all of the criticisms and feedbacks that I had. The majority...
Sculio's just laid some crazy wisdom that it has taken me years to learn as a creator, and I think he's totally right. I think a lot of people that make these feedback videos should be focusing on stating their problems rather than finding solutions, because most of the ideas are god awful. I am in this camp. Yes, I have done this. I have done this as recently as last league. Just present your problems and let GGG do the rest. It's fine to theory craft, but sometimes the ideas are very narrow-minded. So true. I have done this in the past. This is something I've needed to improve on. Yep.
As I said, the majority are positive. Overall, I'm giving it 100% a solid 8 out of 10.
Yeah, I changed my score from 9.9 out of 10 to 8.5 out of 10 after playing the end game and crashing more and getting a little bored. So my final score, very similar to his, 8.5 out of 10. A fair score, Scorpius.
4.5. Now, regarding the future of the game, we're expecting a brand new patch at the end of August or September, which will also reset the economy. 0.5.5, for anybody who didn't know what I said before, will be a massive patch according to GG, and will also bring an economy reset.
It'll be a content patch. I don't know if they said massive, but I think it's going to have unique items, maybe ascendancies they haven't confirmed, and lots of balance changes.
And probably a few new additions to the game. We are expecting to see at least 2 new ascendancies. One for the Ranger, probably the Arcane Archer that was previously teased multiple times, and one for the Druid. Those 2 classes are the only ones that haven't received their 3rd ascendancy, and it would make 100% sense if they did that before 1.0 releases later this year. We're also expecting to get Toda, which is Trial of the Ancestors, which is the 3rd trial for getting our ascendancy point. And I'm also assuming that they're gonna fix a ton of bugs and balance changes, so definitely keep in mind that your builds and abilities might get nerfed. I've heard from a lot of people that they're expecting new acts or even a new class in 0.5.5, but personally, I would prefer if they fix the performance instead of doing that.
They're not going to waste that.
Regarding the economy reset that I mentioned before, they've already...
And Toda's not ready. Toda might not even come for 1.0. That's what they said. I think Scorpius misremembered. Toda might not even come for 1.0.
confirmed that it will happen, but haven't explained how, and I'm getting a ton of questions about it. So I'm not 100% sure myself, but what I'm assuming that they're going to do is something very similar to Second Wind League that we had in 0.4, if you guys remember, where the current Runes of Aldur will remain as is, and you'll be able to enter the newly added league, which will have a full economy reset that doesn't affect your current characters or currency. Anyway, this was my full opinion on the state of PoE 2 and my feedback on some negatives that I see in the game. It would be awesome if you guys let me know what your personal opinions are. It doesn't matter what anybody else believes. What you believe matters. Just write it down there. I'll read it. Let's see if we agree or disagree. And of course, as always, you can find me live either here on YouTube, on Twitch, or on Kick, whatever platform you prefer. All of the links are going to be down below. Thank you all very, very much for watching, and I'm going to see you guys on the next one.
It's a good video. I disagreed with a bunch of it, but I think it was pretty fair. Oh, look, that's us. That's us, guys. Oh my goodness. I'll give it a like. I'll throw it in the chat, you guys. Yeah, I like watching league reviews now on stream. It's fun. I did watch the clip like you said, and I told him, I am not a juicer, but when you laid out all the best steps needed to get the best maps in the game, my take is the juice is worth the squeeze. Sounds like a decent amount of setup that pays off way more than how other plays, than how many others /I play, elk and go. And then Scorpius said, worth the squeeze indeed. However, the problem, in my opinion, is that city maps have having this power over every other map completely negates the majority of the Atlas tree. C, but it's just, like I said, it's the cherry on top. B, the setup becomes annoying after 20 times of doing it. Well, that's optimizing the fun of the game, brother. Constantly path it 20 times doing it? Oh my gosh, that's crazy. Constantly pathing through bad maps to find an area of city maps to then begin the setup. You can run a maximum of 6 to 8 maps to then having to do it all over again. C, RNG also plays a role here because sometimes you'll have to set up the whole area and won't be worth the squeeze. So eventually what a lot of people have realized that it's oftentimes better running something like Grand Expeditions where it still requires you to set up, but at least the reward, excitement, dopamine, or even drops are instant within the same session and map. Or alternatively, run something less juicy, which requires almost no setup and can be spam, for example, rituals for Purple Omens. I still agree with my OG take. Just move on. Just move on if it's not fun anymore. Good video, though. Good video. I like Scorpius's videos. I appreciate the way he does his content. It's pretty sick. Pretty sick. Thanks for watching with me, guys. Uber bosses should do massive damage. I agree. Have massive life pools. I agree. Have complex mechanics and only give one shot. Totally agree. You look good in red tri. Nice drip. Well, thank you, my man. I got some new shirts that fit my more muscular chest. I'm just kidding. No, but they do fit me better. I am going to play in the private league, Piri Pocky. I'm going to play in the hardcore private league. It starts on Friday. Probably not going to stream it until next Wednesday, though. Yo, Jazzrus, you're still here? What's going on, brother? Quota's never coming. It's a myth. Yeah, probably true. And yes, I have the cosmetic set. I finished the challenges a month ago. Yeah, there's the biggest hardcore private league. It's been going since 0.1. It starts on Friday. I'm going to give it a go. I've actually been practicing. So people who have been watching my channel, I mean, I have released a couple videos, including this absolutely terrifying thumbnail. How do you guys like that thumbnail? I made that, by the way. I made this thumbnail. This is inspired by Schwingy's series. However, I have nowhere near the amount of patience as Schwingy to edit together thousands of clips and write an amazing script. So I did a little bit of a different challenge. I played Path of Exile 2, in which I could only equip a weapon. And my goal is to beat Act 1 in 1 hour or less. Guys, this legitimately turns the game into patch 0.1. It's crazy. It's so much fun. So and the series, I'm naming it, guys, because I have been addicted to this. And next video is going to be even better. I've done much better editing. It's going to be called the Try Hard Chronicle. Okay? I am so pumped for the next video. Okay? So yeah, this has been so much fun to do. And I have attempted it 6 times so far. Spoiler, I've not beat it a single time. Okay? So I just spoiled this video if you haven't watched it, but whatever. It was so much fun to do and make. Local Hole did a campaign challenge run where he could only move on past bosses he managed to one-shot. What? That's crazy. Oh, is he releasing it this week? Oh, I'm pumped. I'm pumped. Is there a link for that league? If you go to, oh gosh, whatever media PoE 2, he has the link to the league, right? Here you go. Right here. I will post it in the chat. Oh, it's a super edit? Yeah, I'm in the league. So, should be fun. Yeah, PoE 2 Ruthless sounds super fun. Okay, I know it sounds miserable. I know it sounds absolutely miserable. Should I try to show you guys what it is here on stream? Should we do that? Should we maybe give it a go right here, right now? I'm going to show you guys what it's like. You can see my raw reaction. 1 hour. Please don't do that thumbnail again. I thought I did such a good job. I thought I did and I only used upscaling from Canva. Okay? I probably could have done that thumbnail in like 10 seconds if I used AI, but I just used upscaling from Canva for it. Yeah, I'm not feeling PoE 1 either, guys. I'm just going to be honest. I'm happy that a lot of people are, but it's not me right now. All right, dudes. We're going to do it. I need to turn up my sound. Okay, it's not... See, the thing is, you'd think it's frustrating. What's going on? Why is my game lagging? Oh my gosh, am I crashing? What the heck was that? Do you guys just see me crash? I like just how challenging it is, I guess. I don't know. It doesn't frustrate me because I know what the goal is. And it's not... I'm only competing against myself. League mechanic is pretty good. Not telling you to play it. It's just hope that it goes score makes its way to PoE 2. Yeah, I went over why I'm not playing it earlier. And it's essentially because it hurts my wrist to play PoE 1. And the games are so similar. Want to watch this for 1 minute? Oh, yeah, sure. Here. The teaser. There's sound. Here we go. Okay, so this is Local Hole attempting to one-shot every single boss in the game. Starting with Bira.
Only one shot on a brand new character? Well, everyone told me it'd be impossible, but...
Oh, you did it!
What?
We got her!
Can you beat Path of Exile 2 with only one shot on a brand new
Did he one-shot it with Frostbomb?
character? Well, everyone told me it'd be impossible, but...
Oh, we did!
Is that Frostbomb killing it?
We got her! Get... Bay rough.
Bye.
Oh! We did it!
Okay, this should one shot. Oh, come. Yep.
Oh, we got it!
Okay, come on. Oh, yes!
No! Please!
Die!
Yes! We got her!
Okay, is this it?
Yes! Get...
So close.
With a bit of planning, a lot of grinding, and a touch of luck, I made it all the way to Lachlan. And this week, I'm going to keep grinding to try and finish the whole campaign and try to answer the question, can you beat Path of Exile 2 with only one shot on a brand new character? Well, everyone told...
Oh my gosh. One awesome short. Did you guys see how the end of the short leads perfectly into the beginning of the short? To almost trick the viewer into watching another 5 seconds?
grinding to try and finish the whole campaign and try to answer the question, can you beat Path of Exile 2 with only one shot on a brand new character? Well,
That is clever. I've never even thought of like a tactic like that with shorts. That was great. I'll leave a comment. Thanks, Guitar Holic. That is pretty freaking cool. Frostbomb does no damage. It was something we figured. Oh. That's why it's legal. Okay. So guys, I'll explain to you the rules of my challenge, okay? I'm solo self-found, okay? I am trying to beat Act 1 of Path of Exile 2 in less than 1 hour, but I can only use weapons, flasks, and the gems that I pick up. I can't equip any other items. No armor. I have done this run 6 times. I have failed every time. And I am currently forced to do it melee because of me being stupid. So, I wonder what the best class to beat this is. I've tried with Druid. I've tried with Merc. I've tried with Sorceress. Which class do you guys think, remember I'm melee, do you think would be best to try to do this with? I haven't tried Warrior.
Foundling, it is a pity to see you like this. You arrived on our shores a whipped and broken child. Our people made...
Maybe Huntress with Buckler?
Ranger, an outcast, lurking among the shadows of the trees like an animal. You murdered one of... Feral Asmirian. Expelled from your mountain. You are wild at heart and wild of mind.
I think I'm going to try with the Huntress.
Oh, how the glory of the Asmiri has faded. I sentence you to death. Say your piece.
Okay.
What?
We're going in. I'm going to give it a go, guys. Remember, I cannot equip anything besides my weapon.
So to speak.
By the first ones.
If I actually do it on this live stream, I'm going to be absolutely shook. And I have to play melee. Remember.
Rathan here is stronger than I dared imagine.
So I cannot use my spear throw as the basic attack. I can have my buckler, which I'm going to have as that. I found that the time isn't really an issue. Do you know where I get hard blocked at every single time, you guys? It's Count Geonor.
I swore I'd never
Every single time I've managed to get to Count Geonor, and I usually have 10 to 18 minutes on the clock, but I cannot kill the Count. I can't do it. I will be playing THC tomorrow. Yes.
So this is the sickness I was warned about. No going back now.
You guys can't tell. I don't really play Huntress and Spears. I don't think I've played Huntress and Spears since Dawn of the Hunt.
One step further from home.
Okay, come on, come on, come on. Quarterstaff, crossbow.
Please come inside.
Yes, yes. Spear is very weak early. I agree. This is also what I've found.
Friendly's the name. There's a beat. Now, if you could chant, stick to the cairns.
Looks to be a decent sort, that one.
This I know. Oh, I already lost. The time, I'm telling you, isn't the point. What is going on with the load times? They're much higher than usual. All right, so we are going to go Twister. Okay, 4. Okay. So many buttons, you guys. Also, somebody said I could run past
Always
this.
someone in need of rescue,
You literally
isn't
can't run past this. Uh-oh. Oh, crap. Nobody saw that. Nobody saw that. Nobody needs to know what just happened. You literally can't run past that. Somebody said you could skip the league mechanic. You literally can't skip the league mechanic. You can't. How? How can you? I swear I've never been able to.
Oh, shite! Nice one!
Oh my gosh.
Teach him a thing or two.
By the way. Oh my gosh. No, 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 no.
Over here!
Guys, there's no way. I think Huntress is too squishy. I'm not skilled enough, Guitar Holic.
Thanks for the help. Name's
I don't think I can do it with no armor. Oh. There's too much pressure.
Oh, shite! Teach him a thing or two.
I need to go for these freaking guys. Look how slow I am. Oh my gosh. These are the real endgame bosses, but this is what I'm talking about. If you don't have armor, everything in the game matters so much more. You see this?
See? I told you we'd make a fine team.
Buckler parry for days. Okay,
Good on you.
okay. Maybe I'm like a low skill gamer. Fire damage, attack speed. See, I'm not used to parrying. I'm gonna have to get used to that again. I was pretty good at it in Dawn of the Hunt. Hey, Sir Bartsalot, what's happening, man? I have been spending time with my family and being very tired from family and work. But I am returned, guys.
The wind howls.
Okay. I'm returned every Wednesday streaming. So welcome back. We're doing my silly challenge and completely failing right now. Honestly, I just kind of want to see if it's possible to get a little close. I need to do Bira. Oh, no, no, no. Okay. Okay. All right. Hey, Potato, what's happening? Yeah, I know. You thought I play this game for a living, as do many others. And they wrongly think this. But I'll just keep letting them think it. Because, you know, who cares? Who cares what they think anyway? So I can parry. Whoa. Did I just get knocked down from that? What?
The thrill of the hunt.
Wait.
The
Oh my
roots
gosh.
are infused with magic.
I was getting... So I can parry like one hit Guitar Holic. Is it because I have no armor on? Oh no. Oh. Oh, that's bad. No, it's not my default attack only too. I'm just bad. Oh, this is gonna be rough.
This here was someone's home.
Oh, I can't even block one hit from her. You don't know why I don't quit my job and go full-time content creator, and I could be growing so much? Maybe, but it's a risk that I can't take because I have a family. If I didn't, then I might have taken the risk back when PoE 2 first went into early access. But I can't parry one hit. No, I can't do it with this character, guys. It's not happening. It's impossible with her. Let me migrate. But I have a family, and they need to have health care and everything, so it's too much of a risk for me, honestly. And I like doing it as a hobby anyway. It's a nice way to chill. Okay.
Primal Druid, a man torn between two worlds. But our forests have no place for another of your kind. Let the great wolf hear your final remarks.
Oh yeah, guys, there's a very low chance that I go full time at this point. Very low. No, it costs way for surf arts a lot. It's very expensive where I live for healthcare. Ah.
Phone!
Monk Hollow Palm.
Pagan, you failed to liberate your brothers, just as you have failed in poisoning my subjects against me. Call out to your dreamer.
Way of the no weapon.
Recapture the pagan.
Here we go.
Let him escape.
We're doing it. And it starts.
By the dreamer's will.
Yeah, so focus is allowed to use with the wand. Yep. It's just no armor items. I can use anything in my weapon slot. Okay, come on. I think that's a good call to try out Hollow Palm. I think that's actually that's not smart. I totally lied, dude. You know why it's not smart? Because I'm not getting any evasion or energy shield because I don't wear any I don't wear any armor. I wonder how I think Falling Thunder might be a good way to go. Yeah, Hollow Palm with no armor, I just thought about it, and I'm thinking, like, yikes. But at least with Monk, I have AoE. Because AoE is very important. Like, I think that's where I was just faltering with Huntress. I was getting completely warmed.
The miller has seen better days.
By the way, does anybody else think that they should change the starting skill of Monk to not be Falling Thunder? I think it's so underwhelming when you don't have power charges. Like, look at this.
Effective.
There's not a command for the challenge. That's such a good idea, Surf Arts a lot. I haven't streamed in a while. I forgot to add commands for stuff. I will next time. For next stream, I promise. Oh, guys, I almost died.
Skill.
Oh, Orb of Og.
Strength.
Very nice. Og and Trans. I'll just do it on this one. Screw it. Increased Fizz. That's huge. That's huge. Very big. Okay. We're gonna get Killing Palm.
You could channel your violence against this
Okay.
devourer, as Finn calls it. Till next time.
Okay, guys.
The discipline of the forge has taught him.
You think we need like 3x the abilities of the class? That would be awesome. Maybe that's kind of the idea for the future, dude. I mean, that could be the idea for the future. Because I would love just more skill variety for all weapons. I think, because that's what they do in PoE 1, right? You know? They just endlessly... This is so bad.
Feel the shock.
They just endlessly expand. Hi. My wife just came in here, guys. She's been trying to put our kids to sleep for hopefully not this whole time.
That man may not survive without my
They
help.
endlessly what?
Thanks for
It
that.
took an hour to get her to bed? Hour and a half. See, of course, the one day I stream, you guys, is the one day that our kids take forever to get to bed. What they do in Path of Exile 1 is they constantly add new skills for archetypes. So I just imagine that's what they're going to do for Path of Exile 2. Like, it's not confirmed, but I feel like it's darn likely.
See? I told you we'd make a fine team.
Can I skip it now? I still can't skip it.
Good on you.
Ashen Staff. Wisdom. Everybody's saying I can skip it, but I almost feel... No. 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 I almost feel like you guys are trolling. But I can't prove it. Oh my gosh. Okay, guys. Okay. That was good. That was good. All right. Much better than before. I think we've got some AoE down, which is good. Instantly finding the count.
The old magics.
So good for us, guys.
Die.
Oh, come on. Gonna get some magic monster kills here. Very good.
I've never known mushrooms to grow in this part of the forest.
Oh, sweet. And we already got the Grim Tangle. Look at that. I don't know why I'm going for the kill here, but I am. Oh, my goodness gracious. Ah, ah. I just do a slash blade at the end. I didn't set the timer up for the stream. Another thing that I forgot because I'm a dummy. Oh, I got a Transorb. I need to get that Transorb. No. Okay, and then we follow downstream to get to the Red Veil. Although it would be great if I got Ariadne. Doesn't look like I'm going to. Okay, Zoe Arcana. I know you're already taunting me with Geonor because that's where I've failed. What? No! I got 360 no scoped. I don't know if you guys saw that, but from the bush. Took me out. Okay, I need the upgrade.
I shall free you from this world.
Okay, the ranged mobs in here, guys. You always go for the ranged mobs first, okay? Every single time. No, we're fine. We're fine on time. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. Oh, goodness. Okay.
The old ways.
Get another bit of attack
still hold
damage.
some power.
We need to find the refined arms that has the quarterstaff that I need as well. Not re-rolling. I'm fine. Oh, rusted arms. Long quarterstaff. Let's go. That's what I needed. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Come on. Come on. Come on. That's a dead end. What I really need is a nice support gem. I'm gonna get up. Come on. That's a pretty good group of people there. Oh boy. Nice chunk. This layout is called the Spanish banana, and why is that? I feel like there might be some sort of joke there. Oh my goodness. Where is the checkpoint? Where is the check? It's across the bridge. It's across. I can't believe this.
The old ways still hold some power.
42% fizz on my long quarterstaff. Okay, but it's okay. I can just go right over here. So we got more fizz damage, guys. We're fine.
Free you from this world.
Oh my gosh, they're sniping me from afar. This is crazy. Oh, we actually know where all the obelisks are. Cool.
Shock.
As you can see though, you guys, I'm very, very squishy without any armor at all. Like it is rough. I think anything ranged pretty much is gonna take me out.
A malicious presence lingers here.
Okay, and then we have the Iron King, or the Rust King, whatever, right over here. Oh boy. Oh boy. See how I actually have to engage with the mechanics, guys? Okay. See. Oh, goodness gracious. What's a good build to follow to get into this game or this challenge? Two very different questions.
Savor the feast. Keep full.
Oh no, he was cullable, guys! He was cullable. I didn't cull him. What is going on? This wasn't. I've never failed these bosses like this, guys. It's because I'm nervous, okay? Uh-oh, uh-oh, uh-oh. Oh my god. Oh no. Are you downloading something, Natalie? You're just checking your email? I don't know how to say this, guys, but I'm lagging quite a bit. You guys see the lag? Or is it just me? I'm not rusty. No, Guitarholic. I've done this 6 times in the past 2 days. And I've gotten to Geonor every single time. No, guys, I swear. I swear. No. See, let me, here. Here. Where's my recordings? No. Like, this was yesterday. This was yesterday, guys. I swear to you. Where is it? Is this it? Let me see. Let me see. Come on. Come on.
Twisted thing.
See?
I don't.
This is yesterday, guys. See? I'm actually on a druid, but I got a GG mace craft. Look how hard this is. This is insane. I did update the NVIDIA drivers. No, guys. Guys, I swear. I swear. And then this was the other day. This was the other day. Look.
Open the cage.
Oh my god.
Release the beast. Give.
Night falls.
Come on, I'm not lying.
Winter's chill.
But I did fail at Geonor every time.
Sought the unworthy. Through an endless night.
I know it's easy mode.
Tarry.
I don't want to do easy mode.
Forsaken.
But I definitely am playing pretty bad on stream. I'm not gonna lie. If it makes you any feel better, yeah, I put 1,000 hours in this game, and I put my only review on Steam because I love this game, laggy. So I feel you're pretty sure that there's a focus coming to 1.0. Yeah, I mean, the lag, come on. The lag is obviously why I was buying there. Obviously. Oh, okay. Anyway. I'm gonna do... Okay, wait. Can I press this button? I swear there's lag. Alright, we're gonna get him this time, though, guys. We're gonna get him this time. We're gonna get him this time. Crap, I don't have any monsters to bounce off. All right. All right. All right, here we go. 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 Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. No, no. No, it's too many monsters. No. All right, well, this is obviously a failed run, guys. I promise I'll do better next time. But I'm gonna kill the Rust King. I promise. I don't just give up. Oh no. Come on. Come on. Come on, just keep going. Come on. There we go. What am I doing? What am I doing? And I got...
And dream no longer.
What is this? Oh, it's okay. Doesn't do that much. All right. This run is obviously failed. So, what I'm theory crafting here is that I'm gonna need to do some of this. I'm gonna need to do some skill-based combo stuff. I think I'm gonna need to use talismans to generate like power charges on bosses for this guy. But I think Monk is probably my best bet because it has the best AoE clear. And it scales with your weapon the best with Falling Thunder. I think that's actually the run though. Like I just need to get better about dodging some of these abilities. And I think Monk is the way to go. Because I've tried it on Druid multiple times and I get to the end but my damage lacks. So, no, I've tried Druid multiple times, bro. I get to the end and my damage lacks. But I think that's what I'm going to need to do. I haven't tried Rend, actually. I might need to try Rend. Might need to try Rend. Maybe I try Rend next time. Maybe that's the way. I believe ranged without weapon would be less of an... Yeah, well, ranged is... Yeah. You could definitely go ranged and be totally fine. You're right. You're right. All right, you guys. Thanks for watching. I think I'm going to go try to hang with my wife. Maybe she'll watch an episode of Suits, but this was a great stream. Thanks for coming and tuning in on YouTube, on Twitch. It's amazing to see that so many of you guys show up after I haven't streamed for a month and a half. That was really fun. So I will be back next Wednesday. Remember, I'm going to ease back into it next Wednesday for another stream. I was going to play some surprise game today, but getting a little late. I'm going to go hang with my wife. So maybe she'll want a back massage or something. We'll see. Thank you guys. I'm going to raid you on over to Crimson Cast on Twitch, and I will see you guys soon. Look out for a couple videos on my end. Hope you have a wonderful night. God bless. See you guys later.